I tried to wear clothes to hide me, thinking that I could hide the hurt, but I was trying to hide it on the outside.
Hey champions, allow me to introduce you to author Donna Rojas and her Why My Mom story entitled Worked Out for My Good. You see, Donna's story is kind of similar to a lot of our stories. Her mother wasn't very verbal in expressing her love for her, but Donna always knew she did love her. However, the validation that she felt like she needed throughout life was missing. So, enjoy Donna's story.
My name is Donna Rojas, and I'm an inspirational coach and transformational speaker. My Why My Mom story is because I just felt, at first I was very leery to do this, but I felt the need to share my story because there are women that are going through some of the same things that I'm going through. I actually had a conversation with the female inmates that I work with, and they're always talking about issues that they've had with their moms. And they asked me one day, do you have any issues with your mom? And at first I was very leery to share the story, but then I said, you know what, I need to be transparent for them. And there were some issues, there were some things. So I needed to let them know that I too was experiencing some of the same things that they were experiencing. Not exactly the same, but just trying to fit in with my mom. I always wanted to be accepted by my mom. I knew she loved me as I love her, but I always wondered if she liked me. Because as we would go through life and be in different situations and be in different social circles, everyone else seemed to get her attention, and I was always fighting for the attention. And there were times where we just seemed to not get along. When we're by ourselves, it just seemed to be combative. But yet, when she would speak to my cousins, when she would speak to my, our family's friends' children, it was always different. It was always more loving. It was always more caring. But I just felt like we just had something, and I didn't know what that something was. But it just always seemed to be combative. We are different, which I know, but it was just always combative. It was just always, felt like I wasn't doing the right thing for her.
So how is it for you that you're able to be joyful and upbeat and such an inspiration to so many when you weren't given that as a young girl?
It took time. I struggled. I just found the need to change. I was very apprehensive. I became very closed. When I was younger, I still was very sociable, but then when I went off to myself, I was very closed in. I was a little heavier, so I tried to wear clothes to hide me, thinking that I could hide the hurt, but I was trying to hide it on the outside. And I just had to really break down to say, you know what? This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like me. And how do I get to the real me? And it just took time, and a lot of prayer, a lot of journaling, a lot of crying, a lot of seeking advice from therapists, from friends that I trusted on how was I going to overcome this, because it was taking over me. It was taking over me. It was taking over who I am, who I wanted to be. I was just sick and tired of, I'm trying to please this woman and I'm not being able to be me. I'm just trying to do all the right things. Go to school. Make sure that you are, you have a certain prestige. Make sure that you're doing the right things. And I just always went outside the box on purpose because I wanted to do me. I think my mother didn't embrace and love back in the day. She does a little bit more of that now. But when I was younger, I don't know what she was this executive that had to have a certain poise about her. And I don't know what transpired per se in her life that may have caused her to behave that way. See, I was raised by my grandmother. And my grandmother and I have the best relationship ever, always have. and she's 96 years old now, and we're still very, very close. And I went to live with my grandmother when I was 16 months old. I don't know if that was some of it, because my grandmother and I are a lot alike. And she grew up with my mom grew up with her mom. And I don't know what their relationship was like, but I knew my grandmother had a tough time when she was young. And I don't know if some of that toughness rolled over into her children, that they became very tough. They weren't very huggy, kissy type of folks. But as time went on, I think grandchildren changed things. When I had my children, my mom I saw emotions that I didn't feel for me. I saw her do with them. Like Nana, 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 they would run up, they would hug her, they would kiss her, and she was just, she had that emotional connection to them. As I got older, I started to realize that I'll go back to a time where my children used to tell me, Mom, when you go to church, you make sure that you're always, making everything look like it's grand and it's great. And when we come home, there's issues and we're fussing and fighting. But yet when you walk outside, it's all smiles. And I had to stop being fake. And they were the ones that told me that. They are the ones that showed me that. They were like, Mom, you straight up, you're being fake. So I decided that I had to work on not being fake anymore. Number one, I had to build my self-esteem up. I had to realize that I can't hide behind the clothes. I can't hide behind the scenes. And if I'm not doing the right thing, then I'm going to be ridiculed. So I decided that I'm going to work on me. I got self-help books. I decided that I was going to seek spiritual counseling. I decided I was going to seek mental health counseling. I decided I was going to do those things to build me up. And especially in the environment that I work in with incarcerated women, you cannot come before them fake. You cannot come before them hiding. They're going to call you out. And I decided that if I'm going to tell you what to do to get over your hump, I need to work on my stuff to get over my hump. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do is I pray. And I send out this daily spiritual blog to like about 26 or 30 people that I've been doing for it's been a minute now. It's been about 10 years. It's just this little blog I send out to everyone. And after that, I have a gratitude journal that I write in. I write everything that I'm grateful for. And some days it's tough. You're grateful for waking up, you're grateful for life, you're grateful for your family. And then it's like, but there's some things going on in my life. How can I be grateful? But I write one page every day. And then immediately following that, I go downstairs and it's an hour workout. And I make sure to burn those calories right before going to work. And it helps me to stay stress-free. I really enjoy working out. Some people say I'm over the top with it, 6 days a week, sometimes 2 a day, but that's what helps me. That helps me to stay focused. That helps me to stay centered. That helps me to get rid of some of the stress that can come about on a day-to-day. Do I hate my mom? No, I don't. I've always loved my mom. I've always looked up to my mom. I've always seen her as this epitome of womanhood. Her and I have gone through so much, and I don't hate her because that's the only one I have. I'm only gonna get one. She was the conduit. Her and my dad were the conduit for me to get here. So I can't hate her. And even though there were times I felt like I hated her because of some of the things that transpired, I still knew that this was the woman that I had to honor, because honor your mother and your father so that your days will be long. I had to honor her. But there were some times where you could feel like you were getting on the hate road, but I don't hate her at all. I love her dearly. I love her dearly.
I'll be your hero. I'll be your strength when you need the most. You don't have to be
Ma, you know I love you, right?